When Coco Chanel first spoke the words, "In order to be irreplaceable, one always must be different," she couldn't have known how relevant that would be towards the public 45 years from then. Looking back towards the 19th century, the style of then and now has changed drastically, but it also started from there with Charles Frederick Worth. He was the first designer to have his label, Charles Frederick Worth, sewn into his garments that he created. Researching and investigating different styles of clothing back in the 19th century, I've come to find out that men's fashion had also changed radically.
Fashion has changed very differently from the medieval times because back then it was more of the formal ways where the formal generation, like the older generation, would wear the most Victorian clothes, and to now is where we have young generations and they like to wear the more upgraded stuff.
Coats have long tails at the back but higher at the front, where the waist length, square cut waistcoat showed beneath it. Also, the trousers became more popular and fashionable, and they didn't have to just wear them for informal days or events. The woman wore only dresses back then. It had progressed into the revealing form of the woman's body and structure. Women got to return to their natural waist, but still the bodies required a tighter fit. Although corsets continued to be worn by women, overall the dress and skirts became fuller and had a bell-like shape. The sleeves of the dress had changed and had different styles through short puff sleeves and which were worn generally.
See, fashion strength, it identifies who you are. Like, even though you dress in a way, it will still identify you. So let's bring it to London, like London, north, east, west, south. You can put skin colour to it as well. If you wear something, you're obviously going to get stereotyped. So when you buy something and you wear it, what I do is I think before I buy it, what people are going to think of me, or what did this portray. So example, if someone wore all black, to a younger generation it's all calm, all blacked out, swagged and that. So older generation, typical thug on the street. So that's one of fashion's weaknesses, and as well it can identify you and label you. So even though you dress in a way but you're completely opposite, like are you just like a roadman and you're a sweet boy, you're still gonna be a roadman to me on the road. Like you're still not up, if you understand. The strength is it identifies you, and it kind of, if you dress in a way and mix and match, like it's pick and mix, you can be unique. So you want to have like a organic view, like a healthy view of fashion. I like. Yeah, that's it really. Yeah, that's it.
Moving on 15 years from then, in the 1950s, the dress code had changed again after the Second Great World War, where the women wore dresses with pencils or full skirts, which was seen in either plain fabrics or floral, which is flower. They could wear it in their waist-length cardigans. Women had wore hats as a fashion. It was an everyday thing with their dresses, either small pillbox styles or large-brimmed saucer-like hats. As their hairstyle was often cut quite short, set in curls or kept long, whilst tied in simple chignons, low buns, or ponytails at the back away from their faces. Men, on the other hand, still revolved around suits. The most common one was a grey flannel suit worn with a shirt, tie and a pocket handkerchief. The other common thing worn by men was a tweed and a check jacket with non-matching trousers, as the open collars were permitted as casual wear. Men's hair was usually brushed to the side but slicked back with bill cream. Then there was the teenage style fashion, who wore a completely different style and was separate from the others, which was influenced by America's celebrities. Teenagers had started to wear leather jackets and jeans. They got the style of pointed shoes, tight trousers and long jackets that had velvet trim on them from the Teddy Boys, which were popular back then.
Well, considering London is one of the most capitalised places in the world with a lot of higher-end brands, it's not surprising that a lot of maybe not a lot, but there is a certain percentage of tourists that will have come here simply for the fashion. And considering we hold things like whole fashion talks, and we had Fashion Week here, so it's not surprising that most probably a lot of tourists do come here for just the fashion.
But then in the 2000s, fashion was described as being a mashup. It meant that this was a mix of previous styles with the new styles and designs. Although the hip-hop fashion was the most popular, especially among young people, it followed the unisex indie look later on. 2016 now is no different, yet the fashion has evolved and changed, but not still much. They still sell clothing trends of the olden days, but the styles have gotten redesigned into different parts and shapes. As over the years they have found new ways to tailor and sew clothing, and a range of different materials and fabrics have been discovered.
If you look at the history of like the fashion timeline over each maybe 5 to 10 years, it has changed quite a bit. I mean, if you go back 5 years ago, you had things like, because I grew up with things like dungarees, really weird fashion. So I think over time it comes back on itself. So yeah, I think because we have things from the 1990s and the 1980s coming back in fashion for today. So, and sure, definitely, fashion would definitely change.
Thank you.